Hey guys, I'm Lorenzo, producer and songwriter from London, and in this video I'm going to show you how I go about mastering my tracks. Okay, so before we get started, I should mention that you should always do your mastering using proper studio monitors, speakers, not these headphones. But for logistical reasons, for this video I'll be using the headphones, and also I've already prepared the plugins for the master anyway. So let me show you the before and after of mastering the track. This is a song that I wrote with George Balkwill, who's a London singer-songwriter, and in previous videos we've created the drums, the bass, the chords, we've done all the mixing. So if you're interested in any of that stuff, definitely check those videos out. But for now, let me just show you the before and after. So this is without any effects before the mastering. Okay, and this is after adding the effects. Just be careful because it's going to be very loud in your ears. I'm going out of my mind, and now I'm shaking. So what you would do is, if you have the whole track, obviously this is just a snippet of the track, but if you had the whole track, you would usually take the loudest part of the track and kind of loop that, and then you start adding these effects. Specifically, the effects that I've added in this track are, so we've got them here, compressor, EQ, and then a stereo widener, and finally a maximizer. I'll run you through each and every one and you can hear the difference at each stage. I'll turn off all the effects to begin with again, and I'll open up the compressor that I've added. It's a very, very light touch, so you don't want to compress this too much. I'm going out of my mind, and now I'm shaking. I face my greatest fear, I can't escape it. There's a very, very subtle difference there. And then the next part we've got is EQ. Now at this stage it's really handy to have a reference track. A reference track, as you can imagine, is a track that you can reference to. In this case I went for Bruno Mars' Grenade because I felt like sonically it's really kind of similar to the track that we're dealing with here. And then what I do is listen to the reference track in terms of the EQ of that reference track, and then try and see where our song that we're trying to master is either lacking or needs a boost. So here's the reference track. Again, here's our track at the moment without the EQ. I'm going out of my mind, and now I'm so after some experimenting, I came up with this EQ. Now the next effect, the stereo widener here. You can apply a stereo widener to the whole track, but one trick that I like to use when I'm mastering is only applying the stereo widening to the higher frequencies. Reason being, the kick and the bass, like all the lower end, you don't really want it to be widening to the left and the right speaker. You want it to be central and really pumping. So this trick here is I'm using a multi-pass, it's part of the kilohertz bundle, but as using this I'm able to add specific effects to certain frequency bands. So in this case, as you can see, from 1.5 kilohertz upwards I've added the stereo widener, and it's widening about 139% width. So I'll show you before and after, and hopefully you'll hear the difference, and I'll also push the width a bit more just to accentuate that. I face my greatest fear, I can't escape it. I'm better believing in a lie. You can't be cool to be kind. I will also show you how different it can be if you push the frequency right down and how muffled it can sound. And now I'm shaking. I face my greatest fear, I can't escape it. See, that's not what you want. Really, you want the higher frequencies to spread out. Okay, now this is where the magic happens, the maximizer or limiter. So adding here, I'll show you what I've got here. I've got a ceiling of -0.3. You don't ever want to go above 0 because then that's clipped. And the threshold I've got -12.3. You can play around with the threshold and that will give you your loudness. but you don't want it to be too loud because then the whole track will just sound like the same dynamic, and then it will be quite a boring track. So you want it to have some sort of breathing space. Again, I usually use a reference track as well as a guide, so I'll show you the before and after. Again, be very careful on your ears because it gets very loud. So yeah, against the reference track now, let's have a listen, and this is where we gauge our threshold. And then back to our track. I think that sounds about right, but let me just play around and show you how you can change that. That's obviously way too loud. So let's listen to the whole chorus and instrumental through, and then we can call it a day.
Truth, don't keep me waiting. Something isn't right, your hands hesitating. What will it take for you to tell me why? I'm going out of my mind, and now I'm shaking. I face my greatest fear, I can't escape it. I'm better believing in a lie. You can't be cool to be kind. You can't be cool to be kind. You can't be cool to be kind. You can't be cool to be kind.
Good work, guys. So that's how I go about doing my mastering. I really hope this has been helpful for you and you've learned some tips from that. If you've got any questions, just put down some comments, or you can message me directly. I'll be happy to answer them for you. I just want to say a huge thank you to everybody who's been watching this video as well as all the other videos, and really appreciate your support. Please do subscribe, follow and all that stuff, because that will really be beneficial in me making more videos. Until then, yeah, definitely keep in touch. I'm really looking forward to hearing from you, and yeah, hope you enjoyed it.